What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to walk you guys through how to test women as a man, okay? And the reality of this situation is that dating is a game, all right? You can either complain and say, hey, I'm not gonna play because playing a game is stupid. I just wanna find the girl that I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with. I'm not gonna play any sort of games. I'm not going to play any sort of power dynamics. Or you can actually learn to play the game and you can win. Because the truth is, if you don't acknowledge that there is a game to be played in today's society, you're going to lose. You're going to get burned as a man. You can't just take your ball and go home. That's a loser mentality. You need to go out there and understand that even though today's current dating situation is not ideal, you have to find a way to win, or your bloodline is not going to continue. For thousands of years, other men have successfully courted and dated women, married women, had children with those women, and that's where you came from. That's your ancestors. They've all been successful with this. Now it's up to you to learn how to do it in 2025. I know, it's a crappy thought. Of course, I want to be able to change the game. I wish the game didn't look like this. As a man, it's difficult to play. I wish that we could make men the prize again. I wish so bad that we could bring back Christian morals and values and a traditional dating relationship and a traditional society where the men are the prize and men are sought after, and all you have to do is, just kind of learn how to lead, be a man, and you automatically find a woman. That sounds great. But now with social media, girls get access to every man on the planet. They can have whoever they want. They can post their bodies online and make millions and millions of dollars. If you are not practicing how to play the game, getting better at it, you are seriously missing out and you're gonna fail. But here is the game, okay? Let me set the stage for you. She is either testing you or you are testing her. This is how the game is played. It's either one or the other. In a relationship, in a dynamic, there is always somebody doing the qualifying. Either she is qualifying you or you are qualifying her. And whoever is doing the qualifying has the power in the relationship. And let me ask you a question. Who is supposed to have the power in a relationship? If you've been watching my videos for a long time, you'll understand that men are supposed to have the power. That was given to them by God. They are the leader. They are physically stronger, okay? And since man is physically stronger, it is his job to protect physically. Like chivalry, something that some people will say is dead. It definitely feels dead with the modern dating dynamic, but that's something that you still have to hold true to in your relationships, is the fact that you are supposed to protect physically. It's part of your job as a man. And the woman, what is she supposed to do? Well, she still has a role, and we're going to get into what her role looks like, but she is supposed to protect you emotionally. Not physically, but emotionally, your woman is supposed to be competent and be able to look after you. And we're going to get more into exactly what that's supposed to look like. So remember, you're either testing her or she's testing you. So you have to be the one to start the tests. What you need to understand is that there are questions that you can ask at every step of the way that are going to give you more insight into what a woman is like, okay? They're going to tell you whether or not a woman is actually qualified for the position of bearing your children, all right? You are always going to have to put yourself in the situation of the boss or the employer. If you see that frame switching, where all of a sudden, for some reason, she's the boss. For some reason, she's wearing the pants in the relationship. You're losing the dynamic and you're going to lose her. You're going to lose yourself. You're going to lose everything. There's always needs to be the proper dynamic where you are the boss, you are the employer. Always, okay? And what happens oftentimes is men think with their dick and they forget that these are the jobs of a woman, okay? Because a woman is trying to fill the position. The man is the employer and he is looking for a woman to fill the job. That's always how it should go. A woman's job is to, number one, bear children. Number two, be emotional support. Number three, bring peace. Bring a sense of peace. So underrated, that one right there. A woman is supposed to comfort. A woman is supposed to nurture. A woman is supposed to encourage. A woman is supposed to support, okay? And what these are all tests based off of these different occupations. These different things that she should need to do in order to check your boxes and say, yep, this is the right woman for the job right here. All right? What you need to do is you need to ask these types of questions. Do you want to have kids? That gives you an idea. It gives you a look into what her perspective is on bearing children. When you say, how many? How many kids do you want? Pry. Ask these questions that a lot of people don't feel comfortable to ask till way further down the line. They're like, I'm not going to ask these questions, Brandon. On a first date, how many kids do you want to have? Are you crazy? Yes. These are the questions that I want you to ask. I want you to ask these questions on a first date as early as you possibly can, because asking these questions puts women in the defense mode. They understand, whoa, this guy is asking me some crazy questions that other guys don't tend to ask me because guys are so timid, guys are so weak nowadays, they're scared to ask hard questions. But your job is to get in there as the interviewer and say, hey, are you right for the position? It really completes that dynamic, all right? So women are used to what I call the princess treatment from weak men, because weak men are constantly walking on eggshells, trying to be nice, trying not to say the wrong thing because they worship the woman's beauty, because they think, oh, I've got to get laid, bro. I've got to get laid. In order to get laid, I need to say the right thing. No. Often, in order to get laid, you actually have to challenge the status quo. You actually have to challenge her. You have to be something that she hasn't encountered before. You have to stimulate her intellectually. You have to have a good banter with her. You have to be able to play around with her and engage in these different fun dynamics that keep her entertained. That's part of your job. And your job is to maintain the frame while you are playing those games. Maintain the position of authority in the relationship. So when you come out of the gate with certain goals, with standards, with principles, beliefs, with morals and values that are reflected by the questions that you ask her, this automatically gives her something to live up to. It says, okay, this guy has been around the block. He kind of knows what he wants. And what this does is it signals to her that you have other options, that you've been exploring other options, that you know what to look for when you're interviewing a woman for the position. Because if you just show up and you don't show that you have goals, that you have standards, that you have things that you're looking for, she's going to be like, has this guy ever talked to a girl before? But if you go in and you ask these specific questions, she realizes, oh, this man is plentiful. He has other options. And that immediately makes a woman want to procreate with you because you have other options. Hypergamy. She is looking to fulfill that. So this is exactly what they want. Number two, another great question to ask girls in order to qualify them for the position of girlfriend or wife is, do you ever get depressed? And that's just a great segue into talking about things like mental health. Because what you're searching for is you're searching for if this woman can actually bring you peace. Because how can a woman bring you peace if she doesn't have a piece of her own. That's part of what she brings to the dynamic. Just like a man brings strength, he brings physical protection to the relationship, a woman should bring emotional peace, emotional protection to the relationship. And if she doesn't have that of her own, if she's incredibly traumatized or her wires just are not running right, things are not working up here, she is depressed, she has mental health issues, you're going to have a really, really hard life because you're going to have to find that peace for yourself. But that's why God said, hey, it's not good for man to be alone. I'm going to make him woman. Woman is going to bring man peace because man is going to be going out and doing hard things. He needs someone that brings him that sense of peace. Okay, so ask that question. Do you ever get depressed? You ever feel really sad? You ever feel really anxious? These types of things, it sparks that conversation where you can actually go deeper on this, all right? So women need to be lighthearted and they need to be gentle. So underrated. It's so powerful. You want that in a woman. Are they bipolar? Do they do drugs in order to try to escape? Do they drink a lot? Do they smoke a lot of weed? What's their previous history with partying? What have they done in the past? Because the truth is, the more experience that a woman has, the more time she's been around the block, the more drugs that she's done, the chances are she's trying to run away from stuff. She's likely been in situations where she's been traumatized. Like women, it's a lot easier to traumatize a woman than it is to traumatize a man. It's just how it goes. Number 3, ask questions like, what do you want to do with your life? What does your life set up look like? Okay? Does she want to take on a role of being nurturing, comforting, encouraging, and all of that type of stuff? Or does she have other goals for her life? Is she looking to be a boss bitch? Is she looking to be a woman that is powerful, a woman that is respected? These things are all red flags for me. Big, big red flags to me. When I ask a woman what she sees for the rest of her life, I prefer it if they say, I want to have some land and maybe have some animals and I want to raise my kids and just involve myself with nature. Ding, 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 ding. That's what I'm looking for right there. She doesn't need to have big goals and aspirations. I'll have the big goals and aspirations. I'll be the provider of the family. I'll figure out how we're going to go about buying land, all that type of stuff. What I just need this woman to do is want to fill that nurturing, comforting, and encouraging role, all right? Number 4, I would really recommend doing this. Probe for materialism, okay? And what you'll notice is that a lot of my points here actually correspond directly to the main red flags in women in a video that I made a while back. Probe for materialism. Does this woman really like nice cars, expensive cars? Is she playing the status game? Is she constantly comparing herself to other girls? What ring did this girl get? Oh, I need a bigger ring. Oh, I need this car. Oh, I need a nicer car. Probe for that materialism. Certain handbags. Is she going out? Is she spending a ton of money on super expensive things, super expensive trips? Does she handle her money decently well, or does she blow it? Is she in a ton of debt? That's a huge one as well, especially in today's society. Run into girls and I figure out that they're in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. That is something I keep in mind as a man before getting into the relationship, all right? Women shouldn't be materialistic. Men can be materialistic. They can go out there, they can pursue things, they can chase things, they can even play the status game because they're trying to be well respected, they're trying to build something in society. But women can't do that. If they are that way, if they are materialistic, it shows that they have been masculinized by society. You can take women on the ride of their life. This is the best thing ever. When a woman comes from nothing, or she doesn't really have super high expectations, you can take her on the ride of her life. You can take her to the best places, you can spend money on her, you can get the best things for her. If that's what you want to do, that's great. I encourage it. Give your woman great things, but understand that every single time you give something to someone, you raise the bar. And now all of a sudden you have to meet that bar because now they expect that. Very, very important rule of human psychology. You can use that in business. You have to understand that with everything. In your relationships, that is how people work. If they get something consistently, they get treated a certain way, they expect to be treated that way. So you're going to have to continue to live up to that. And the cool thing is, if you find a great woman, you can take her on the ride of her life. You can show her an amazing lifestyle. You can go out and you can be successful. You can show her all of this type of stuff, but it should all be seen as a gift. It should all be seen as a blessing and not something that's mandatory. Like, oh, I have to give this girl like a crazy ring. I have to give this girl all the handbags so that she can flex on social media. Another huge red flag. Definitely want to pay attention to that. So be testing her. Be probing for these questions, all right? Ask yourself the question number 5. Does she bring you closer to God? All right. And how does a woman bring you closer to God? She brings you closer to God through encouragement and support and not trying to drag you down. Because it says in the book of Genesis, the woman shall seek to rule over the man, but the man shall rule over her. Okay. Is she solidifying your morals and your values and encouraging you in those? And do you notice that you are very able to fall into your masculine frame while she is able to fall into her feminine frame when you are together? Is she making you stronger, or is she making you drift away from your morals, your values, and your principles? Is she constantly making you fall into lust? Is she constantly trying to gain power over you time and time and again? Is she being disobedient? Is she falling out of line with what her occupation is supposed to entail? Is she trying to pick up some of the jobs that you're supposed to have? Maybe you need to self-analyze as a man and say, hey, is there points where I'm dropping the ball that's making her kind of step into these positions? Something very important that you have to keep in mind. But she should ultimately bring you closer to God. I'm not trying to find a woman that's going to drag me to hell, because a lot of women are hell-bent. They want to bring a man down with them. Men, you need to find a woman that's actually going to reinforce you. It's one of the biggest decisions of your entire life. It's going to be figuring out who you want to marry, who you want to be with for the rest of your life. Number 6, this kind of ties in with number 5. Does she seek external validation? Find her Instagram. Test her. Like, this is interesting, this post that you made. Tell me about that. All these types of things. Look for that external validation. If a woman is playing the status game, why are you playing the status game? That's interesting. Why do you like that? Why do you like this? Constantly be looking to disqualify the woman. Because if she can tell that you're kind of looking to disqualify her, that immediately shows that you are the boss. You are the employer. You are the one with the authority, and you have plenty of options. That is key. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Make sure to drop a like down below. Drop a singular thumbs up in the comment section if you watched all the way through to the end of this video, because if you did, you've got an attention span of steel, my friend, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.